My
This
apologies for
conference
that.
will
We
now
lost
be
connection
recorded.
there. Can everybody still hear me?
Yes.
Thank you.
Do we need to retake roll call to make sure we have a quorum?
Mayor, do you want to do a roll call again? Make sure we didn't lose
No,
it.
we're okay.
We're okay.
We can see everybody up there.
Okay. Okay, so sorry about that. Again, I'll continue. Under the 2019 disaster recovery funds, 80% of the allocation must address unmet needs, similar to 2018. 70% of the total funding must be used for activities benefiting low to moderate income LMI persons. And again, for this, eligible counties are under the HUD mid is Cameron, Hidalgo, and under the state mid is Willacy County. Moving on to item number 4, the bike share RGV. Unfortunately, we had to postpone the launching of that last week due to the severe weather event. So we're going to reach back out to the 3 entities that we have the project with, the City of McAllen, City of Brownsville, City of Harlingen, to try to schedule a launching, a ribbon cutting of that event. So be on the lookout for that email that's coming your way. Um, and number 5 is COVID-19 vaccination, as the mayor included or added in the beginning. We continue this effort. We've been having our weekly Tuesday at 1:30 conference calls with the folks that are on the ground, and a few other key personnel who's spearheading this initiative for the vaccination of the homebound residents. It appears that I guess a plan of action has formalized, and so with that, we are still experiencing some issues with obviously the number of vaccinations. Obviously, there's not enough to go around, so they're distributing the vaccination as they get them at the state, obviously through the health department, and to those that are have been identified as vaccination hubs or eligible to receive them. So that's an ongoing effort. I don't know if Mayor Darley wants to add anything to that.
No, we're concentrating on the shut-ins, and obviously they have special needs to be in the nature that they are shut in. We're trying to overcome some of the manpower requirements because some of them, almost all of them, have comorbidities require 1.5 hours to stay with them for allergic reactions, and so we're trying to overcome both distance between people who are going to get vaccinated and also the rate. But we're working on it, and both counties are keeping somewhat successful vaccinations in those areas. We'll continue to those efforts. Okay.
Thank you. And so lastly, what I have is not on the agenda, but I felt that it's urgent to advise you of it. I did send an email today, earlier today, advising everybody just as an effort to continue to spread the message due to the last week's severe weather event. The Texas Division of Emergency Management has created a self-reporting damage survey tool. That's the email that I sent today. And so the TDM, along with the Governor Abbott, strongly encourages Texans to complete the survey. That will determine, obviously, to receive assistance from FEMA, individual assistance to address the disaster that happened last week. I also send you a link that guides you. It's a hyperlink that guides you directly to the actual survey. That way you don't have to go through various links. It'll take you straight to it, and you could start completing that assessment online. So again, we highly encourage everybody to do that. If you sustain any damages due to last week's winter weather event. That concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, department reports. Item A is community and economic development. Rick, you're up.
Good afternoon, everybody. Everybody can hear me? That is a yes. Commissioner Garza, is that a yes? You can hear me?
That's a little better. Get closer to the mic.
Here,
Turn on your laptop.
I'm using my laptop.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody hear me? Mic check. All right, I'm getting yes. Thank you.
Is everybody waving? Can you wave your hand if you can hear, please? We're gonna have trouble seeing anybody here. Can you raise your hand if you're hearing us?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. Thank you, Richard.
Okay.
Appreciate your patience, everyone. We're working through our technical difficulties as best as possible. Good afternoon. Rick Carrera, the Director of Community Economic Development here at Oregon Valley Development Council. I have 4 action items in addition to a couple of updates. First action item is the consideration and action to approve an authorized representative agreement execution resolution. This is in regards to the flood infrastructure funding award that has been offered to the Lower Oregon Valley Development Council. This is for a region-wide flood planning study. We were given this document probably a couple of weeks ago, and of course, we are presenting it in front of the board today. Last year, May of last year, the board approved the white paper and the abridged application. That was submitted to Texas Water Development Board and got approved for full application, and full application was subsequently submitted and awarded. The award is for, I believe, $8.87 million, including some local match. They are awaiting our response on that, which would include the signed execution.
So the motion is to approve the execution of the agreement?
Yes.
Do I have any questions?
To approve, Mayor Darling.
Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve the agreement execution resolution with Texas Water Development Board.
Commissioner Garza moves
Any questions on that? The item is to approve the agreement with the Texas Water Development Board for a little over $8 million to do the flood study. Any questions relating to that? I have a motion for approval.
So move, Commissioner Garza.
Nori Garza, second.
And
I'm not hearing anything.
No, it's talking.
people are talking, you can't hear.
See at the top it says talking?
Yeah, everybody looks like they got their microphones muted, except for Commissioner Garza, Manny, and Nick Bettis, I think, and Nori. So if you're gonna make sure you unmute your microphone before you speak.
Yes, we didn't have employees that actually got,
Can I hear you?
COVID,
Y'all can hear me, am I correct?
thing.
Yes.
Yes,
Can y'all hear me? Mic
Yes.
check.
yes.
I'm getting, yeah. Commissioner Garza, whatever reason we're not hearing everybody, let me see what the issue is.
Okay. I move to approve.
I second it. David
I-
Fuentes. Or, yeah, I believe there was a second already.
Yeah, we have a motion and second to approve the agreement with the Texas Water Development Board under items 5A1. All those in favor, raise your hand.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item 2.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Moving on. Item number 2, consideration and an action to approve road to recycling tire disposal service request for proposal award. We went out for bid, but it wasn't bid. It was actually a request for a proposal for some vendors to carry out all the processes related to the road to recycling tire event. The RFP was structured such that vendors could propose to fulfill all services or only part. We received very few responses and only one that the Solid Waste Advisory Committee approved of, which was Republic Services for transportation. So consider action to approve Republic Services as a vendor for the road to recycling tire disposal services event.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Was there any backup that we got on this item?
David, can you repeat that question?
Was there any backup that was sent with this item?
The question is, any backup sent with the item?
No, but I can get you that too right now.
How do you report it?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
This is Mary Ledesma. On the proposal that you got from Republic, was that company the least or the best price on the table?
They were, in terms of transportation, they were the only company that actually submitted a proposal.
I could barely hear you, sir.
They were the only transportation company to submit a proposal.
Okay.
Does this need to be done at this meeting, or do we, if people want the backup, how are you going to get that to them?
I can get it to them.
We can table it.
We can table it for now. If we need to.
Yeah, if you need more information, we could table this item and it won't disrupt the operation.
We have some liberty in terms of,
Yeah.
the preliminary date for this was April, but communications with the SWAC, the Solid Waste Advisory Committee yesterday, and my staff were in agreement that if we need to push it out till May, we can.
Yeah, I guess if anybody has any questions why we only received one proposal, or they need to have the backup agreement relating to the bid process, we can table this motion until the next meeting. Is that your desire, Commissioner Garza?
That, or just put it on the screen and let us look at it.
Yeah.
I don't have it with me.
We don't have it with us. That's not possible at this time.
Then we can do it at the next meeting.
I move the table.
Okay, we have a motion to table. Do I have a second?
I second that, Mary Ledesma.
Okay. Who seconded it, please?
Mary Ledesma from Primera.
Marilyn Desmond, okay. All those in favor, raise your hand.
Aye.
Opposed,
Aye.
same sign. Motion carried. Okay, item 3.
Consideration and action to approve regional small city coalition recommendation for chair and vice chair.
And who were they? Oh, okay, got it here. So Mayor George Rivera was reappointed for as the chair, and Mayor Jorge Ledesma, City of Primera, was elected as vice chair. Do I have a motion to affirm those nominations?
So move. Second, Mayor Montoya.
Mayor Montoya seconded. Okay, all those in favor, raise your hand, please.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 4.
Consideration and action to approve regional tourism travel advisory committee, RTAC, as they call it.
Where's that one?
Annual appointment, reappointment of officers and representatives.
No, you want to scroll up to the next one?
Okay, we're going to scroll up on the screen so you can see who that is.
Hold on.
The board members?
Okay, yeah, I won't read them. There's quite a few, as you can see, all the way from Sergio all the way down to Sullivan, oh, actually, the town of Laguna. Do I have a motion to approve the appointments and officers and representatives for the Tourism and Travel Advisory Committee? Hello.
Commissioner
Motion to
Garza
approve.
moves
City
to
of Edinburgh.
approve.
Okay, City of Edinburgh approved. Who seconded it?
I'll second.
Okay, Commissioner Garza seconded it. All those in favor, raise their hands.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Any questions on the program status report for community and economic development? I might point under Region M and our water reservoir levels, we're holding our own. It's really dry here. And when we start watering, and God knows what's going to happen to the citrus crops, we'll have a better handle on where we are with water, but we absolutely need to have some rain in the watershed. Here it would be nice, but we really need it in the watershed.
Also, the Region M, obviously, we talked about the committee that approved last month. This cycle we're meeting for that just this week. The next cycle will start getting underway within the next few months, and we'll keep the board
Right.
abreast of that.
Yeah, the Region M plan's been approved by the Water Development Board. It's on their website, along with everybody else's Water Development Board. Right now, they're readjusting some of the census data, et cetera, which will be pending the actual census adoption. The next major item for the Region M Board is to approve the new consultant, the engineering consultants for the next phase, and they'll be going out this spring. Okay, any other questions on program status reports? Hearing none, we'll move on to Health and Human Services. Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, sir. Can I be heard? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I have one action item, and there's a consideration and action to add additional vendors to our vendor pool. We continue to have our open enrollment, and so we had 2 additional applicants. The advisory council recommend approval of Med Team for homemaker and breastfeeding home care services, and also Sentido Health. And this contractor is for medical supplies and durable medical equipment.
Okay.
These are the providers that our case managers use to purchase services for our clients.
Okay, and they meet all our criteria?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve these 2 additional vendors to our vendor pool for medical supplies?
Nori Garza, move to approve.
Okay,
Johnny Garcia, second.
we have a motion and second. Any discussions? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Any questions relating to the program status reports for Health and Human Services? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to public safety, and we always have items under public safety. Mr. Snyder?
Hi, good afternoon, Mayor, members of the board. Today I have 4 action items for you. Action item number 1 is consideration approval of the Justice Advisory Committee recommendations for chair, vice chair, and parliamentarian, in which elections were held, and Tom Hushin was elected as chair. Kelly McCormick from Hidalgo County was elected as the vice chair, and Annette Hinojosa from Willacy County was elected as a parliamentarian.
Okay. And do I have a motion to approve the committee recommendations for officers for the Criminal Justice Advisory Committee?
Mayor Mendez, I so move.
This is Mayor Rivera, I second.
Okay, motion and second. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor, please raise your hand.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item C2.
Item number 2 is to consider action and approve the CJAC Advisory Committee member, Chief Jonathan Flores, the Chief of Police for Alton, who was selected to serve as a CJAC member, representing the law enforcement discipline for Hidalgo County.
Okay. Any discussion relating to those nominations? Hearing none, I'd like a motion to approve.
Johnny Garcia, City of Edinburgh, so move.
Okay. A second?
I'll second. Nori Garza, Mission.
Okay, we have motion second. Thank you very much. All those in favor, raise your hand, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 3.
Item 3 is part of our 911 public education campaign, in which we are requesting action to approve purchase of 911 public education advertisement. We plan to launch a new educational campaign that will display public service announcements at local movie theaters and streaming platforms. These public education campaigns will address text to 911, multi-line telephone systems, deaf and hard of hearing, know your location, and will appear on streaming platforms and in Cinemark theaters in Hidalgo County. The estimated cost of this is $181,008. The initiative is required and was previously budgeted and approved by CSEC, and as required by LRGVDC procurement policy, all procurements exceeding $25,000 require board approval from the board of directors, and we are requesting approval for this activity at this time.
Okay, before we entertain a motion, any questions or comments relating to the recommendation? I kind of had one, with the COVID, and we just get, I think we just went up again now for museums, et cetera, but a lot of things are closed. I presume those all were taken into consideration relating to the restrictions on especially group activities in advertisement, like you mentioned, movie theaters, I think.
Yes, sir. It'll also go across streaming platforms for the movie goers. So essentially what'll happen is when they log into their Cinemark apps and things on their phones, and they go home and watch various streaming platforms or their tabletop boxes like Pluto or things of that nature, it will also convert over and the commercials will be redisplayed upon those screens as well. So it's specifically targeted at the moviegoers.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve the recommendation as presented. Mayor Boswell? And who seconded it? You get it, Debbie? Mayor Boswell?
Johnny
made the
Garcia,
mo-
I'll second it.
Okay, they have motion and second. All those in favor, raise your hand. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 4.
Item 4 is the request to approve the purchase of the 3-year generator maintenance plan. Staff request to procure a 3-year comprehensive maintenance plan to support generator system at the PSAP level. This plan will provide quarterly preventative maintenance visits for 3 years, and purchase will be made using HVAC contract GE 0-20. The cost of the maintenance plan is $71,044 and is necessary to maintain system stability and the availability during catastrophic events that disrupt normal power supply.
Okay, I had a question. How did you do last week?
We fared fairly well, Mayor. We did run into some problems. Most of the problems ran around fuel systems and trying to get fuel to locations. One generator running at 20% capacity, but we're working on that. And purchasing this maintenance plan will obviously give us a leg up and keep us up to date and moving to perform any preventative maintenance and foresight of any events, especially with hurricane season right around the corner, I believe less than 100 days away.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
I have a question, Mayor Ledesma. On the cost of the maintenance plan, it's 71,000. Is that from one proposal, or is that from different companies, or is that the only company that you're buying it from that's gonna selling you the maintenance plan?
That's actually a good question. I'm not sure if Hector's on. I know Hector spearheaded this procurement process, but I know it went through I believe a competitive bid process.
And that was the cheapest plan?
Yes, sir.
So do you guys
maintenance plan for 19, I believe 19 generators.
for 19 generators?
Yes, it's not a single generator.
Okay, but do you have the list of the other companies that also went out or gave a proposal?
No, I don't have access to that at this time.
Actually, let me interject on this one. As you see, the action item, this purchase was made using the HGAC contract. So it's a state contract purchased through HGAC. Being that we don't have here within the COG, the technical expertise to assess all these, this maintenance agreement or the maintenance that generators require, it behooved us to go with the HGAC contract, which is already a pre-bidded contract. And so we just have to, go with that contract and select it to perform those maintenance activities.
Okay.
Which is in line with our procurement policies and procedures.
Okay.
Yeah, many of our cities use the HGAC process for meeting our bidding requirements. I think they're familiar with that. Okay,
Yes,
any other questions or comments?
Mayor Darling, this is David Fuentes. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Just a quick note, maybe something we can look at in the details. What we found during this, not just this last event, but other events, is that when generators fail during the most critical times of need, there needs to be some response criteria in there that they're going to respond when these are needed. Because if they're not going to come out and respond when the generators are actually, the most useful, then that kind of doesn't really get us going. So just take a look at their response, especially during those emergency critical times.
Hey, Commissioner, are you talking about if there's contractual obligations for them to do response within a certain period of time, or just in generally what their performance has been?
What we found is that some of the generators failed to perform when they were actually supposed to kick on.
Yeah.
So that if these guys are working on the maintenance and making sure that we can use them, that if it fails or there's something going on during a critical crisis, that they're able to be responsive during that time.
Okay. Yeah, why don't you, Manny, get back to us at the next meeting in relationship to performance, both if we had experience with these in the past and or whatever contractual obligations they have. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And again, as you all know, this is a maintenance contract, so the maintenance checks are will be performed on a quarterly basis. And in addition to this, we do have staff on board that it's required by the state contract with CSAC that we perform audits on all these PSAP or 911 centers. So they in turn go through the checklist and make sure that that's operating. Because we do, you're right, Commissioner Fuentes, that, the last minute, when needed, it might not actually work. And so, I think the only issues that we experienced was, this past last week was, Raymondville, but, they were running out of their own power, which the generator has not been installed. And so fuel was the major factor in this situation. So the supply is only limited based on its availability. And so we will definitely reach out to this firm or this contractor to see, it might incur an additional cost, but we'll reach out and see how much of a difference that would be, or if that's included in this proposal.
I had a question relating to that. Do we require and document that the PSAPs are supposed to test their generators on a regular basis and document that? So,
We do that for them.
oh, we do that for them. So council government staff does that for the individual PSAPs. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve the recommendation relating to the 3-year generator maintenance plan.
Move to approve, Commissioner Garza.
I second it. Mayor Ledesma?
Okay, Commissioner Garza, Mayor Dustin. Okay, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is transportation. Mr. Logo's on here. Anybody have any questions relating to the reports? Okay.
Mayor?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I'm here. If there is any questions, I'll entertain them. Thank you.
Okay, no questions, reports. Now, is there any new or unfinished business? Going once, going twice, 3 times. Well, before we adjourn, I want to remind you that the next meeting is March 31st, 2021. I would hope that we start having meetings in person by hopefully May or June, depending on what the numbers, but if the numbers continue to improve like they have been and hospitalizations go down, I think we'll be able to have a meeting of all you in the same room, and it's a little more, it's a little easier, let's put it that way.
Less technical difficulties.
Yeah. Okay, so unless there's any new or unfinished business, we'll adjourn, and everybody stay safe out there and get vaccinated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.